junior quarterback last year at Jones High School in Oklahoma, Daxx Garman lit up the scoreboard. 24 touchdowns in 8 games, leading his team to a district title. Some call him one of the top college prospects in the nation. But the bubble burst when the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association ruled Garman didn't really live in the little town of Jones. They discovered his primary residence was really this 25-acre ranch in the larger neighboring town of Choctaw, meaning Garman was ineligible to play his junior year. Jones High School had to forfeit 6 games and its district title. What's more, according to the OSSAA, the student who participated while ineligible is required to sit out at least an equal amount of participation in the coming year. OSA officials say Garman applied for a waiver to regain eligibility. That request was denied. The rising star, who had committed to play for the University of Arizona next year, had no place to play his senior year, at least in Oklahoma. This is Daxx Garman this summer in Texas, preparing for his role as starting quarterback for Southlake Carroll, one of the top high school football programs in the nation. Texas rules require an athlete to live in the district where he plays and prohibits him from changing schools solely for athletic purposes. And while local UIL officials declared Garman eligible to play in Texas last spring, their decision was based on evidence supplied by Southlake Athletic Director Kevin Ozzie. Do you feel like you have fully vetted the residency issues as to whether that family has moved to this area?
Absolutely.
How did you make that determination?
Well, in this one particular case, residency checks in Southlake to prove that they are bona fide resident, unannounced.
The Garman family did rent this home in Southlake last February. The rules also stipulate any relocation of residents is a complete and permanent move for the family. The former house in Oklahoma should be on the market or sold. Again, we put the question to Ozzie. Do you happen to know when that house was put on the market?
Sometime back in the spring.
Really? Do you have evidence of that?
I do. Absolutely.
Ozzie declined to show us that evidence, but according to real estate records in Oklahoma, the Garman's home was put up for sale not last spring, but 2 weeks ago, the day we interviewed Ozzie. UIL rules also say there should be no personal effects or furniture belonging to the family in the previous residence. Online photos of the home in Oklahoma posted last week appear to show many personal effects: televisions, trophies, a toothbrush, clothes in the master closet, still inside the home. Perhaps because the father, Pat Garman, may still live in the home. He works in nearby Oklahoma City at his own concrete contracting firm located in this newly constructed building. This summer, we watched Garman come and go from his property during the work week. Here he is a few weeks ago at his mailbox, apparently retrieving mail. In this video, he's just left work, hitched up his boat from his house, and is headed to the lake. We caught up with him as he stopped for gas. How are you doing? I'm Brett Shepard, Channel 8 News in Dallas. What are you doing up here in Oklahoma? Can you tell me what you're doing up here in Oklahoma?
It's summertime.
Things start to turn sour when we ask key questions. Do you live in Southlake?
I absolutely do.
You do? Is your business up here and is your house up here? Is that a yes or no?
What it is none of your business.
Things turn ugly when we persist. Why do you still live and work here, sir? Why do you still live and work here? And while Garman wouldn't admit to still living in Oklahoma, Ozzie offered information on his behalf. Did he tell you whether or not he lives there?
No.
Did you ask him?
I asked him, yes.
What did he say?
He said no, he stays there 1 night or 2 nights a week when he goes back to work.
Again, UIL rules state any relocation of residents is a complete and permanent move for the family. The athletic director was also in charge of determining whether the student was prohibited from playing in athletics in Oklahoma this year. Ozzie insists Garman was eligible to play. Where do you get that information?
From the Oklahoma State Association.
From who particular?
From Our district committee did the due diligence on
No,
that.
well, I'm talking about you.
I'm not
Did
gonna-
you not do the diligence?
I did.
Did you talk to anybody with the OSSAA?
I did.
Who did you talk with?
I'm not going to discuss that.
But according to OSA officials, neither Ozzie nor anyone from Southlake contacted them, asking questions about Garman's ineligibility in Oklahoma this fall. In a statement issued to News 8 after the interview with Ozzie, Southlake's communications director wrote, quote, "The line of questioning caused Mr. Ozzie to respond in a manner that may have confused the issue. Carroll ISD did not speak to anyone at OSA and has no obligation to do so, but rather we had the appropriate documentation." But ultimately, according to OSA, Southlake's documentation, critical to determining eligibility, was outdated and incomplete. Now, is that a way of doing diligence when you never call the OSSAA to see if this child could not play football or was
Excuse
eligible
me.
to play football?
Pardon me. Am I on trial? Am I on trial?
The matter is now the concern of the former chairman of the 6-5A District Executive Committee, who says the DEC relied on Southlake to investigate Garman's eligibility. He was surprised to learn Garman was in fact not eligible to play in Oklahoma his senior year.
And I understand that if that's the case, then yes, I would feel that I was, or that the DEC was misled.
Rogers says based on the new evidence uncovered by our investigation, Garman's status as Southlake quarterback begs a more thorough review.
Well, there's no doubt that if there is more evidence, as you allude to, then certainly there's more questions that need to be asked, whether it's by the DEC or by the state UIL.